Yeah, what's going on? Welcome in KCSN Live here from the KCSN Global Headquarters. From the worldwide headquarters of KC Sports Network, I'm here with you, Tucker Franklin, on KCSN Live, talking about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Probably covered a lot of ground. When I made this link, when I made this this live stream, I wanted to talk about Travis Kelce's comments. We'll obviously talk about Travis Kelce's comments and all that is happening with Travis and the sorry, I'm trying to fix the focus here, guys. Travis and all that's going on with his future on the New Heights podcast. We'll get into that quote. I did first, before we dive into all of the Travis Kelce stuff, wanted to provide an update on the Patrick Mahomes front of things, obviously. Saw this tweet here from Marlia Campbell. I thought this was a good one. I'll pull this one here from Marlia. Shout out Marlia. Ballpark on things. This is Rick Burkholder, Chiefs VP of Sports Medicine and Performance. He says that Mahomes right now is rehabbing in Dallas. Quote, ballpark on things is 9 months. Could be a month or two less, a month or two more. He'll return to KC on Friday to do the majority of his rehab with Julie Freimeyer. She is obviously the athletic trainer, the physical therapist that helped Patrick Mahomes through that ankle injury to help him come back into his into that playoff run when he had that high ankle sprain. I think he suffered it against the Jags, right? Is that right? Was that an Andre Cisco hit? Was that Andre Cisco, chat? Remind me who that was, but I think it was against the Jags. He hurt his ankle. We didn't know what the future was going to hold, and yeah, he'll be working with Julie on the majority of his rehab. I think that's a great sign there. Shout out Rick Burkholder going to the podium, letting us know that ballpark on things is 9 months. Could be a month or two less or a month or two more. Shout out everybody in the chat joining me today. We're keeping the lo-fi vibes going on. So shout out to you guys for hanging in here, hanging out with me here, and talking some Chiefs. What all's going on as the end of the season is rapidly approaching. But shout out to Patrick Mahomes, man. First off, shout out to Patrick Mahomes. Some other quotes from this press conference here I've been seeing running around. Really impressive, just the attitude that you see from Patrick Mahomes. I'm trying to find a tweet that I lost it because my Twitter feed refreshed, you know, when I left the page, it refreshed, but also was an LCL injury as well. I mean, we knew that, though, the ACL, LCL. They saw that on the initial scans, too, is what Rick Burkholder said. Rick Burkholder said, there it is, the tweet from Vahe here. Obviously, there's a video that Vahe tweeted out. Go listen to that if you want to hear the full quote. But in a follow-up question to Andy Reid from Sam McDowell, Reid notes that Mahomes' rehab started Tuesday morning. It says his attitude as of an hour after the game is, get me up and get me going. That was very interesting insight there from Patrick Mahomes. But, man, I mean, we knew this. We knew this about Patrick Mahomes. That dude is a dog. We will see how long this does take and everything like that. What's up, D-Fizz? Thank you, everybody, joining in. I've seen a lot of people here. I've seen a lot of familiar faces. Jackie Moon, Ed, L Train. Welcome in, L Train. Stephen Holman, shout out. Luis, what's going on? Appreciate you guys. AP, I appreciate everyone hanging out with us here and talking what we thought was going to be Travis Kelce. And we will get to Travis Kelce because he made some comments on New Heights that I think caught some Chiefs fans' attention. Some of the Frank, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Some of the comments that he made caught a lot of Chiefs Kingdom's attention. Well, I'll see if I can get him to play here. Well, I might play him here so you guys can hear him yourself if you haven't heard him already. I do have the quote graphic though, so we can run through the quote graphic. Tweeted out by KC Sports Network at KC Sports Network. Go give us a like and a follow there on Twitter if you are on Twitter. We've got you covered, man. We have got you covered. As these last 3 games 3 games for the Kansas City Chiefs. They will face the Tennessee Titans this week. And on the KC Laboratory, they're going to tell you why you should care about this game. They're going to tell you why you should care about this game. Then we have the Christmas Day game against the Denver Broncos. How fun, chat. How fun would it be? I know that the Chiefs don't really want this if we're talking about draft position or anything like that. How fun would it be? If they beat the Broncos. That'd be really fun. Are you sitting in honor of Tua never starting again? Dude, that means does that mean the great interception race of 2025 is cooked? Oh, man. Does that mean it's cooked? Is Geno playing anymore? Is Geno still out? Pete Carroll's Geno Smith injury update all but confirms. What? Pete Carroll basically just said Geno Smith will start for... Oh, Geno Smith can do it. Geno Smith can win the great interception race of 2025. He's got a shot, chat. He's got a shot. I think it's very funny that after I tweeted that out, that graphic out, neither of them... Wow, I tweeted out the bummed out graphic 4 times in a row. I shouldn't have been so bummed out. Things should stop bumming me out, chat. Things should stop bumming me out. I'm trying to see. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Here it is, chat. After I had tweeted this graphic out, the great interception chase of 2025, Tua has 15. Geno has 14. But after I tweeted this out, Geno doesn't play a game. Tua is now benched. No one wants to win the great interception chase of 2025. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. I see some chats. I want to talk about this a little bit, too, before we get to the Travis Kelce comments. I see some chats about, shout out to How About Those Chiefs, shout out Cole, love me some Cole, about some staff personnel changes. And I do think that there needs to be some personnel changes on this Chiefs coaching staff. And it's not Andy Reid, right? I don't think Andy Reid needs to go. I'll say that. That's where my official stance is. I don't know if I've made an official stance. I'll make it right here, right now on KCSN Live. I don't think Andy Reid needs to go, but I think there needs to be some changes to that coaching staff. Namely, I think that they need to encourage Matt Nagy to pursue other professional opportunities. If he has another opportunity, they should encourage him to take it. That's what I will say. I think the Chiefs should encourage Matt Nagy to pursue other professional ventures. The Chiefs should give Matt Nagy their full support to pursue other professional ventures. That's what I'll say. I think that having a former wide receiver coach running backs is not my preferred method of building a coaching staff. So, unfortunately, I think they need to make a change at that position. I think they should make a change at the wide receiver coach position. Maybe get some former running backs, a former running back to coach that position, or get a former wide receiver to coach that position, right? I don't know. Maybe something I would do. Right? Maybe something I would do. Now, I hear you say, I know you guys have heard me say, a former running back, coach running backs. Not him, guys. I don't think he's going to come back. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back. He's moved on, chat. Chat, he's moved on. He's moved on. I see a comment here from Frank. Dave Toub has to go. I think you encourage Dave Toub to pursue other professional adventures as well. Or, hey man, you've had a long career. You have done a lot of really good things in the National Football League. You've had a very long career. Let me double check this. Let me double check. Dave Toub. Let me double check. 63 years old. June 1st. My birthday is July 1st. His is June 1st. You've been here since 2018. Who was the Chiefs? Where was he before that? UTEP? Wow. He went to UTEP. Offensive lineman out of UTEP. How about that? Shout out. Shout out Dave Toub. You offensive lineman out of UTEP. Oh, sorry. A special teams coordinator since 2013. Since coming to Kansas City, he's been a special teams coordinator. But he got the assistant head coach role in 2018. That's what changed his title. Special teams coordinator with the Bears up until 2012. He was special teams and quality control in 01 and 03 with the Dave Toub, you've been a coach in football for a really long time, since 1986. You've been in the NFL since 01. You've been in the NFL longer than a lot of these guys you're coaching have been alive, man. You've done a really great job. You've had a really full career. Thank you. Salute to you, sir. Thank you. Who was that coach we talked about who won the Euro championship? Oh, it was was it the Rams quarterback coach? Let me double check before I bring it on screen. I think it was the Rams quarterback coach. Rams QB coach. Looks like I'm Stone, right? Dave Ragone! That's right, it was Dave Ragone. There he is. Dave Ragone. Euro championship. Bring in Dave Ragone, man. Come on. Bring in some Dave Ragone. The main reason. Here's the thing, chat. Let me get my ducks in a row here in my brain before I lay this one on you. Here's the thing with all these coaching staff changes. I see Andy Heck in the chat as well. Andy Heck, I think Andy Heck. I can see some heat on Andy Heck because of the run game stuff and him being the run game coordinator. But the development of the offensive line, if we are talking about the development, like for a little bit we were like, hey, where's the development? And then we saw it with Kingsley. And then we saw it with Josh Simmons. And then we saw it with some of these other guys. So, Trey Smith, Green Humphrey. So I'm not. If Andy Heck chooses to go elsewhere, okay. Fine. Right? That's one position that he has been able, Andy Reid did reach outside of his tree. Matty Lane talked about this on the KC Laboratory on Monday. When Andy Reid did not hire from his tree, Andy Heck is one of those coaches that he did not hire from his tree when he came to Kansas City. Right? He came to Kansas City and took a lot of the offensive coaches from Philadelphia with him. There were two coaches that didn't go as a running backs coach, and it was the offensive line coach because Mudd, right? I think Mudd retired. So I don't necessarily think in terms of like offensive line coach Andy Heck. I still think is good. Like I think it's still a good coach. Now run game coordinator Andy Heck might be a different story, right? So I think that there's like a disconnect there a little bit between offensive line coach Andy Heck and run game coordinator Andy Heck. This is run game. This is offensive line coach. Offensive line Andy Heck I think is good. Like that's still a great coach, phenomenal coach. I would say. Run game, get out of here. That's what I think. I know that there's some people that disagree with that. Sure, I that's fine. I think that there is a lot of good development that you see with the players that they have. So then the offensive line coaching strategy side of things, I think, for me, rationally makes sense in terms of offensive line coach. Yes, Andy Heck, yes. Run game coordinator, the run game is not good. That's not, I don't need to sugarcoat it. The run game sucks. So that's different, right? So I think those are two different lanes. Maybe if you just allow him to be offensive line developer, Andy Heck, instead of offensive line developer and run game coordinator, those might butt heads a little bit. And I understand people might disagree with that. That's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Frank says give Heck another year. Jackie Moon thinks I'm an idiot. That's okay. And, okay, so here's the broader point that I was going to bring up when we talk about this before I got sidetracked by the Andy Heck thing. He's the de facto run game coordinator. Jackie. Ed says Pinkston should move to wide receiver coach or be gone to 100%. Like, Pinkston should not coach running backs. Pinkston should not coach running backs. I'm double checking something real quick. Run. Yeah. So the Chiefs technically don't have a run game coordinator. Like, they have a pass game coordinator. That's Joe Blamar. I think that it's been, I believe it's been talked about, where Andy Heck is essentially the run game coordinator as well. But they don't have an official position as run game coordinator. Listed, I should say. But I think that that's part of his responsibilities and duties. So, here's what I would bring out to. And I think the defensive coaches are like fine. I think Colin may have a little bit of a warm seat, but I don't think it's a hot seat necessarily. The talent he has not been great, so it's like I don't necessarily get too worked up about that. Linebackers coach is that he used to be. It's oh yeah, Brendan Daly. That's right. Brendan Daly. Like, I think that it's probably fine, right? Like, I think the defensive staff relatively is fine. You know, I don't think you touch Spags. I think Spags is okay. I think the problems, we talked about this sometimes too, Chat. The problems on offense and the problems on defense were two very different problems. The problems on offense were like schematical. Like, they had the talent, they just couldn't get open. And the problems on defense were they didn't really have any talent. It's an interesting situation they find themselves in, truthfully. So, Steven and Michael making some points here. Reed has a history of hitting, I think he means hiring people who don't have a past in playing the position he coaches. It all comes back to Andy, though. He is the one who put coaches for sure, and that's 100% a valid and 100% appropriate critique of how this team has been built so far to this point. Which brings me to my other point about who do you bring in. So we like to talk about hiring and firing, or we talk about firing people all the time, right? Fire this guy, fire Brett Reed, fire Andy Reid, fire Mark Donovan, fire freaking anyone, right? We want to talk about firing people all the time. But the other side of the coin is, who do you hire? Who would the Chiefs? If the Chiefs fire Andy Reid, who would they hire? I don't know. Doug Peterson? Matt Nagy is who they would hire, chat. That's who it would be. They're not hiring McDaniel. They wouldn't hire Daboll. McDaniel's not better than Andy Reid. Daboll's not better than Andy Reid. They're not getting better than Andy Reid, chat. I know that we're pretty bummed out right now. Fire up the graphic. We're bummed out, right? Dave Merritt, next head coach. He hasn't even been a defensive coordinator. Why is the team in Reed set on doing right by Nagy? I don't know, dude. I don't know. But that's Andy Reid's thing. Andy Reid's loyal to people. That's his thing. That's one of his biggest pros about Andy Reid is he is very loyal, and is also might be his biggest flaw as well, as he is incredibly loyal. The pass game coordinator for the Rams. Yeah, Shieldhouse, he's a KC kid too. He was interested. I think he had some interest in the Iowa State had some interest in him. He's an Iowa State guy. Pass game coordinator for the Rams. Very, very good. He makes sense. That's why we had to deal with Bob Sutton. Yeah, it is. What's up, Campbell Cooks? Welcome in. We need some new ideas and new blood on this offense. 100% agree, Rich. I 100% agree. It's an interesting conversation to have, right? It's an interesting conversation. And we won't really know anything until the Monday after the last Sunday game, right? Matt Verderame is next to OC. I'll let him know. I'll let him know he's on the clock. He's got a call. Probably got a call coming from Brett. Yeah, Shieldhouse is a KC kid. Let's pull up his Wikipedia page. Let's do a. He's a KC kid. He's right now the pass game coordinator for the Rams. Got a lot of buzz at Iowa State for that job. Went to Rockhurst. Went to Illinois. Right now, pass game. Shout out. I mean, he's football operations for Illinois in 2015. He's kind of risen up pretty quick. Rasheed out for fantasy playoffs, bro. Ooh, that's tough. Kind of risen up pretty quick, right, chat? So, Illinois, went to Illinois. Iowa State offensive assistant or running backs coach, and Iowa State wide receivers coach, run game coordinator, running backs, and then he was offensive coordinator. Hey, maybe he could be the offensive coordinator, running backs coach too. If no changes are made, does that change your excitement level for next year? Yes, it does, Jackie. Yes, it does. If there are not any changes made, I will not be very stoked on that. I'll be honest. You can bring in Jeremiah Love, and I know we're all stoked on Jeremiah Love and love him. We love Love. Love wins. That'd be banger, actually. Love wins would be so sick. But, yeah. I don't know if they don't make changes and they bring in Jeremiah Love, how much, their running game actually does change, you know? If they keep trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. That doesn't work. I've tried. Nate Shieldhouse, 2008 Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year. Probably because I wasn't in high school yet. Was a Hawklet at the old Rockhurst High Hawklet. I mean, he's slinging that sucker around there. 21-13, not awesome. February 19th, 2024, Shieldhouse was hired as a pass game specialist by the Rams from the Cyclones. So we'll see. We will see. I would definitely love to have him as the Chiefs' pass game coordinator, offensive coordinator, running backs coach. It's that Drewski skit. Halfback, fullback, running back, fullback, halfback, linebacker, defensive back, head coach, offensive line coach, tackle, right tackle, center, quarterback, running back. That's what it's like. Should have a good mindset if he was on the staff at ISU. Yup. All right, chat. I got to take a break and tell you about our friends at DraftKings, and then we'll get into the Travis Kelce stuff. Let's get into the Travis Kelce stuff, but we need a break so we can switch gears mentally. We need to mentally switch gears. Let's take a break. I'll be back right after this. Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe,
secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day. The tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I've got to address this comment in the chat here. AP says, you guys think Tucker's washed that hoodie from the ad read to today? Yeah. I have. That also brings up a good question. How many wears of a hoodie do you give before you wash it? Because there's a good school of thought about a hoodie after you wash it, and you don't want to really ruin the structure of your hoodie. I think a good school of thought is you want to wear it a couple of times before you wash it. Again, I don't think you wash a hoodie every wear. Depends on if it's an all-day wear or just for an hour. I don't know, man. I think, like, my Carhartt hoodie, I think it's, like, best on, like, day 2. Like jeans, you know? You don't wash jeans all the time. Depends on what you do. 3 times if you're at home, but 1 meal to go to... For sure. 100%. You cannot wear the same clothes after you go to a Mexican restaurant, like, to work the next day. Around the house, several wears. Worn it out during doing stuff, possibly have sweated. For sure. I think a work hoodie or a home hoodie, there's a difference. Okay. So, like, this hoodie, I did sweat in that hoodie, right? That might surprise you. I sweated when I was at the gym. And I wear this hoodie to the gym sometimes. And when I wear it to the gym, I'll wash it after I wear it to the gym. But sometimes I'll let it dry. I'll hang it up. I'll dry it. Let it dry, and I'll wear it a second time to the gym. I'll say that right now. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Kind of like jeans, wash maybe once a week. I'm with you, Seamus. I think if you wash things too much, you risk ruining the structure of them. Agree with Jackie. Depends on the circumstance of the day. Work hoodies 2-3 days tops. Yeah. I don't wear a hoodie to the gym like more than 2 times. Watching from the waiting room. Doesn't Kanye have a double thick hoodie? I don't know. Dried sweat stinks like a locker room. That is true. But like if I just go and lift in a hoodie, right? If I'm just going to lift, if I'm doing cardio in a hoodie, that's completely different. If I'm just lifting in a hoodie, sometimes I don't sweat as much as I normally do. Like if I was doing cardio, I'm a pretty heavy sweater, but like if I'm doing cardio, I'm sweating a lot more than like if I'm like lifting. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It does. It does, Chad. It does make sense. The hoodies I pop on it, like, for podcasts and stuff, I probably watch those... I think once a week is probably accurate. Because I'm just popping them on for a pod. Not like I'm eating a meal in it. You know? I think that if you eat a meal in clothes, they're dirty. Right? Is that what constitutes a dirty shirt or a dirty pants? If you eat a meal in it, it's probably dirty, right? Michael said, yeah, if you're lounging in a hoodie, you can get 4 or 5 orders out of those. For sure. I think that's the appropriate headspace. You can get away with sushi, probably. Probably does depend on the meal. Maybe a lunch meat sandwich you make at home. Maybe you can get away with that. Interesting thoughts here. We'll have plenty of time to talk about those thoughts, truthfully, because the Chiefs aren't going to give us anything to talk about. Except Travis Kelce did. Quote from Travis Kelce on the New Heights podcast on on Patrick's torn ACL and LCL injury. This was on the New Heights podcast. He said, quote, "He's a fearless warrior. When it comes to this football thing, he's going to make sure he comes back stronger than ever, and hopefully the Chiefs can get him back as soon as possible." Good quote from Travis there. Obviously, we all hope that the Chiefs can get Patrick Mahomes back as soon as possible. But all of yes, D-Fizz hit the nail on the head. All of the commotion around this quote is about the last sentence of this quote, where he says, and hopefully the Chiefs can get him back as soon as possible. Travis Kelce is a member of the Chiefs currently. He's under contract for at least 3 more games. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom that caught them, right? They was like, oh, it's like maybe a dog whistle. They said. Is it what did he say? And hopefully the Chiefs can get him back as soon as possible. I think in a lot of circumstances, Travis usually says we. French. Oh, we speaking French now? He says we. I love that screenshot of Kelce in that image. He just looks worn out. Yeah, he does look like he is a sleepy boy. Look, and it's very interesting, kind of the reaction to this quote, right? Because I think, speaking for me personally, I guess I can only speak for me personally, right, chat? I can't speak for you guys. Coming into this year, I think I assumed that this was his last season. And truthfully, I still think that this is his last season. He's playing good football. Shout out to him, man. Like, that's crazy at 36 years old. Playing the football. He's leading the team, man. He's leading the team in receiving at 36 years old. He's the... let me double check this, actually, real quick. Patriots stats. Let's double check this. You're checking this with me. Leading receiver. Oh, I think Stephon Diggs. How old is Stephon Diggs? Where's it at? Oh no, we're good. Travis Kelce is the oldest player leading his team in receiving. Stephon Diggs, I believe, is second. But Travis Kelce is the oldest player leading his team in receiving in the National Football League right now. I think as we saw the year progress and we started to kind of talk to ourselves, kind of maybe convince ourselves that, hey, maybe he'll come back for one more year, because at the end of last year when they lost the Super Bowl, he said, I can't go out like that, Well, maybe he can't go out like this either. He's playing really good football. He's playing better than he did last year. Maybe we can kind of convince ourselves that he'll come back for another year. I think this was always it, guys. I think this was always it. Doesn't have another year left on his contract. think this was always it. I think this was always it, chat. And I think that we tried to convince ourselves that it wasn't. For a little bit there in the middle of the season, I think we tried to convince him, convince ourselves that it wasn't it. Like, this wasn't it. That he's got another season left in him. He can make another run of the Super Bowl. But I always think this was it. AP says him walking off on his own power after everything is the second dream. Yeah, 100%. If Travis Kelce wants to hang it up after this year, I do not blame him. He should. He probably should have 2 years ago, right? I think it is definitely okay for Travis to... Not that he needs my permission, right? I'm not. Don't take that me saying like, all right, Travis, it's all good. You're good. You're good on this end. Go ahead, wrap it up, buddy. You're good here. He doesn't need my permission to retire, but like, I think that the way that Jackie in the chat was talking about the coaching staff changes of like I'm preparing for 0 changes, I think that's probably the right mindset, right? Prepare for nothing, prepare for the worst, expect the best, right? Prepare for the worst. If you prepare for the worst, what normally happens is A-okay with you, right? Prepare for the worst and expect the best. I think we all, I think, I shouldn't speak for everybody. Myself, coming into the season, I thought, that's funny. I thought that this was going to be the last season of Travis Kelce. And as the season went on, I started to kind of trick myself that, hey, maybe he's got one more. I think this should be Travis Kelce's final season. I don't think we should be floored about the quote that he leaves out where he says, hopefully the Chiefs can get him back. That shouldn't shock anybody. None of this should be a surprise to anybody. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. If you don't take anything from KCSN Live ever, if you only take one thing from KCSN Live ever, that's what I want you guys to take. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Some great life advice as well. Some great life advice. Kelce tapping out on the season like John Cena to Gunther. Yeah, that was tough. I didn't really love that ending. Chat. He will 1,000% pull a Gronk and come back for in the playoffs. Oh, AP, I 100% think so too. I want that to be clear. If the Chiefs next year are making a playoff run, he will sign a contract. 100% will sign a contract. Jackie Moon says, do you guys watch New Heights? That's an interesting question. I'm curious if you guys watch New Heights. You guys are New Heights watchers, 92%ers. I think, chat, I know it's different for me because I'm in content creation, and I 100% agree, Luis. John Cena giving up was not the way to go out. It was pretty disappointing, actually. I kind of hated it anymore. I know it's different for me because I create content, and a lot of the times I try to insulate myself from other people other people's content creation. Not that I don't think that they do a good job, right? But it's because I don't want to find myself copying or parroting other things that I hear, right? I want to come up with the takes from myself. I want them to be authentically my takes, right? So I really try to insulate myself when it comes to outside content of like KCSN, whether for better or for worse. That's what my thought process has always kind of been. And I think there's only been one New Heights episode. That's not true. There's been 2 New Heights episodes I've watched all the way, full to completion, from beginning to end. There's been 2. I want the chat to guess the 2 episodes I have watched from New Heights, beginning to end, front to back, cover to cover. The 2 that I have watched. I'll allow the chat to catch up. We still are going to be doing the... Jackie Mooner's right. Taylor Swift is one of them. The second one you should probably get as well. Pat and Taylor. Luis gets it. It is Pat and Taylor. I did not watch the Andy Reid one, actually. I did not watch the Andy Reid. It is Pat. It was Pat Mahomes. Was that episode 15 that they did? I think they saved him for episode 15. The one with Pat, the one with Taylor. Those were the two that I've watched to completion. Those are the two New Heights shows that I watched all the way. I know Jake's not in the chat, but we got to do the Sporcle. Before we get out of here, we got to do the Sporcle of Titans quarterbacks. Wow, Chad, do we think we can get the Titans quarterbacks? They've probably had a lot of quarterbacks since 1999, huh? They've probably had a ton of quarterbacks since 1999. Let me pull it up. Titans QBs. 20 of them. 20 of them. Ed, only were games had a good stream, reminding us to be grateful and a reminder that all the good times, 13-second game, AFC Championship win against the Bengals, Super wins. For sure. It was a good one. Go check out that podcast if you haven't already. Go check that out. They did a really good job. Yeah, DFizz, it's a lot. It's a lot. So we'll do that. We already did Chargers, right? I think we already did Chargers, so we're good on that front. And then we've already done Broncos, but we've already done Raiders too. So I say let's do two of them today, chat. I guess we didn't do ball maps. Let's do okay. Here's what we'll do. We got about 15 minutes left. So what I'll do, we'll do the quiz and then we'll do ball maps. How about that? We good with that? Quiz and ball maps? Oh, The Rock. I forgot they had The Rock on, dude. Maybe I gotta go watch that one. Still dreaming. The quiz and ball maps. All right, here we go. There is. Whoops, I opened up the wrong thing. Quiz. Gotta readjust my screen size. There we go. Oh, yeah, we gotta zoom in. We gotta zoom in a touch. There we go. All right. Tennessee Titans starting quarterbacks. Can you name the quarterbacks who have started games for the Titans since 1999? Starting quarterbacks who have started a game for the Tennessee Titans since 1999. All right, chat, I'm going to start this. I'm going to pause at 2 minutes, and I'll allow you guys to kind of catch up because I know that there's like a little bit of a latency here with this. It's a little latency, so I will pause at 2 minutes and allow you guys to catch up. Spam the chat as we're going here. I'm going to go ahead and start this off. No. Tannehill was obviously there. Mariota. Collins. Kerry Collins was. Malik Willis. He got a couple starts in there. Malik Willis did. Who was the other? Oh, Will Levis. Will Levis got some. Vince Young. Vince Young for sure. Vince Young. Jake Locker. Shout out chat. I think Castle did get some starts there. He was there because that's where he lives. McNair. Yeah, can't forget about Aaron McNair. I forgot Castle was there. I think I got all of the chat suggestions now rolling through the chat here. I don't know if Fitzpatrick made it there. Let's try. Fitzpatrick. Nope. 21 starts from 11 to 12. No. Cutler. Oh, I don't know if Cam Ward's on here. No, he's not on here. I don't know when this was made. It doesn't tell me when it was made, so obviously it does not include this season. Plummer? No. Did I misspell? FIT Patrick. Oh, yeah, there we go. Good call. Thanks, Mike. No, I'm not seeing McCowan unless I spelled it wrong. There's got to be a couple of journeymen here, chat. We've got half of them. Anderson? We got half of them. I'm kind of out of. Here's the thing. I'm not really in touch to Tennessee Titans starting quarterbacks. We've hit all of like the era that I've been alive in. Trent Dilfer, did he start there? I don't know. We'll do Dilfer. Was Anderson spelled differently, like Sen? Get a couple of suggestions before Pittsburgh back off Rudolph. Did he go there? Did Mason Rudolph end up going and getting a couple starts for the Titans? Now we're kind of in the territory. What's the lowest percentage? We can look, Jackie, after this gets done. It shows me in the playlist. We're kind of in the territory of single starts, guys. I got Will Levis already, Luis. We're in the category of we got a couple of guys that had like pretty big starts. Hasselbeck, oh, I think Hasselbeck might have went there. That's a good call. O'Donnell, we'll do Dilfer, O'Donnell, Hasselbeck, Rudolph. Right, here we go. Mason Rudolph did get some starts in 2024 for him. I had no clue. Hasselbeck. Matt Hasselbeck did get 21 starts for him, chat. Wow. Mettenberger. Great pull, Perry. Better not be cheating, Perry. Better not be cheating. Dilfer. No Trent Dilfer. Geno Smith? Rusty Smith. Rusty Smith had a start. Maybe just put in just generic last names. Johnson Smith. White. Black. Red. O'Donnell. O-D. Neil O'Donnell. I don't know who that man is. Oh, yeah, Blaine Gabbert did go there for a hot sec. Yep, good call, good pull. That 2005 is killing me. Yeah, from 01 to 05 making 10 starts. 01 to 05 making 10 starts is crazy, chat. I think I got Locker already. Did I not get Locker? Locker, hardly know her. I got Locker already. Yeah, Rusty Smith's not a real person. In 2010, hell no, it's not a real person. Testaverde. I definitely spelled that wrong. I'm pausing here, chat. 28 seconds left. I don't know. It probably would have been like the quarterback before Vince Young, right? Yeah, I spelled it wrong. I'll rip Testaverde and I'll spell it right this time. Whitehurst, Testaverde. Who the heck was that quarterback in 2022? Whitehurst. I don't know about Rex Grossman. Hasselbeck did have a weird career, Jackie. I'm going back to the chat right now. I missed Whitehurst. Yeah, Charlie Whitehurst. Yeah. Okay, so let's try Whitehurst. I'll spell Testaverde right. Testaverde. I don't think Johnny Manziel played there, did he? Testaverde. Okay. Whitehurst. Boom, Charlie Whitehurst. Volek. Billy Dude, there's no way you didn't cheat for that name. I would not. Flynn. Grossman. Man. Alright, hang on. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Josh Dobbs! Chad, how do we miss Josh Dobbs? Matt Mock? That's not Matty Mock. How did we miss Josh Dobbs, Chad? I don't think that's Matty Mock. I don't think Matty Mock made it. And his last name is Mock. Matty Mock. If he did, I'm a terrible Mizzou fan if he did. Yeah, no, he didn't. This is what is this? 05? Yeah, he didn't. No, that's not Matty Mock. Matty Mock didn't get to the NFL until 2017. Actually, didn't even play in the NFL. He played with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Okay, I'm glad that I'm not going crazy. Who is that guy? Matt Mauck. Oh, CK. No clue. I've never seen this dude in my life. LSU Tiger was coached at the time by Nick Saban. Huh. Kind of slung it a little bit for that for that 03 LSU team. He became expendable after the Titans drafted Vince Young and signed free agent quarterback Kerry Collins. That's crazy, man. I've never heard of that dude before in my life. That's not bad. Jackie, here's our. Apparently, we've done the Denver Broncos one 3 times. Dallas Cowboys only got 48. I would bet this Dallas Cowboys one is the worst one we've done. Yeah, it is. Commanders, we got 75. Titans, we got 90. Chargers, 100. Eagles, 100. Chiefs, 100, obviously. Colts, 100. Texans, 95. There's one weird one in there, I think, if I remember correctly. Lions, 71%. Not a great showing by us. Broncos, 77, and that's the best out of 3. So that's kind of brutal on our part. Dallas Cowboys, 48%. We did not do very good on that one, chat. That Cowboys one was hard because I thought there was a lot less. Bills, 100. I think the Bills one was fairly easy. And then 95 for the Ravens. So I mean, we still got some more to do, right? Like we haven't we haven't done the Raiders one. We'll do Raiders when we get there, right? Browns, we did do the Browns, didn't we? Maybe I wasn't signed in. Oh, I must not have been signed in when we did the Browns. I thought for sure we did the Browns. But the Browns one will be really hard. Let's go see if ball maps are updated. And then I'll wrap it up here. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Thank you, guys. Ball maps here. And then I got a dip. But Thursday Night Football, Rams at Seahawks. Wow. That got me choked up there. Rams at Seahawks. Seattle is wearing their rivalry uniforms as well for that one. So that will be something. Saturday game. I didn't realize there was a Saturday game this week, chat. That's hand up when that one's on me, chat. I didn't realize there was a Saturday game until right now. I did not realize that. Eagles at Commanders on Fox. That's a national televised game. And then on Fox as well. Fox getting 2 Saturday games. Green Bay at Chicago. 2. You know what? That Saturday night game is actually a pretty decent one. That's a pretty good Saturday night game. Sunday night is Pats at Ravens, that should be a good game. And then Monday night is San Francisco at Indianapolis. That seems like a random game. Incredibly random. Joe Flacco's still going to start for him, right? We'll see. CBS early window. The entire state of Missouri is getting Chiefs at Tennessee. And I think I read somewhere that this is like the lowest that the Chiefs have been, like the lowest coverage-wise in the map, like area, like land area-wise. That's crazy that YouTube's doing that, guys. Let's see. I'll see if I can do anything on my end about that. That's kind of crazy. I'll go back in the back end and look at that. But this is like the lowest area that the Chiefs have had in quite some time. They're this blue area here. The red is Buffalo at Cleveland. How funny would it be, chat? How funny would that be? Buffalo at Cleveland in this other red area. The green is, I'm going to guess, Cincinnati at Tampa Bay. Or Cincinnati at Miami. Yeah, that game needs to be on less TVs, actually. New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints. That game needs to... Yeah, okay. I mean, those are fair. Nothing crazy on that map. CBS late window. The late window. Everybody pretty much is getting Pittsburgh and Detroit. Pittsburgh at Detroit. Boy, that's going to be an interesting one. And then I assume this is Las Vegas. Yep, Las Vegas and Houston. Jacksonville and Indy obviously have interest in that one with it being a divisional game in Houston. And Vegas. The single window. Here we go. This is where we get the chaos, chat. This is where we get the absolute chaos. Look at that. Missouri is all kind of split up here on the Fox single window. Because, I mean, look, Fox has a single window, so I assume the blue would be a late game. Yes, it is. Jackson at Denver late. But a lot of Missouri is going to see the Chargers at the Cowboys. Noon game. A lot of this red is going to be Chargers at Cowboys at the same time. So, I mean, if you're in Columbia, you're still going to see Jacksonville at Denver late. I'll be locked into that one. Jacksonville at Denver. I'll probably have that game on at the same time as the postgame show, truthfully. So, we'll see there. And obviously, these areas that have the early games are getting this late game, right? Right, chat? Atlanta and Arizona is a late game too, and that's like only in really Atlanta and Arizona. What is that? That little weird little bump right there. HSV. What is HSV? Huntsville. Atlanta and Phoenix. We should do a segment on which fan base hates us the most. Bills and Patriots have to be up there. I think the Bills probably hate us more than the Patriots do, though. There you go. We got some bowl games. Today we got the Cure Bowl, the 68 Ventures Bowl, and then you got the Xbox Bowl on Thursday. Friday you got the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the Gasparilla Bowl, and the first round of college football playoffs start this weekend as well. So, good stuff. Division II Championship, Harding versus Ferris State. Damn, those are some friggin' programs in this. Northwest Missouri State played Harding in the first round. Ferris State is a wagon. An absolute wagon. Illinois State at Villanova is your FCS semifinal. Do they have another FCS semifinal? Montana at Oh my gosh! Montana State? For the semifinal? I'm locked in. I'm locked in, chat. That's incredible. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here for this Wednesday edition of KCS and Live. We'll be back again tomorrow to kind of break some stuff down, talk maybe a little bit more Chiefs Titans, maybe do some more quizzes. Chat. We'll maybe have a deeper conversation about what all is going on with these here Kansas City Chiefs as well. You know. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I've got to go. I got to dip, but I will see you guys tomorrow.